Hello, everybody. If you're following along, say hello. I'm going to bring you up on Facebook. Okay, I see a few people coming on. Hi, Pamela. Hello, hello. If you're coming on, say hello. Okay, so I'm Deborah Bucher with Deborah Bucher Designs, and we're gonna switch gears here today. Usually on Tuesdays I'm doing furniture, but for the next couple of weeks I think I'm just gonna focus on crafts because I have so much furniture that needs to get finishing touches on it so I can get it moved on out of here. I'm not gonna start new furniture for a few weeks. I see you guys are all coming on. Be sure and say hello so I know who you are and who's watching. Hi, Sherry. Oh, you were having a senior moment? I have those so many times through the day. It's just not a moment. I have senior minutes and hours, to tell you the truth. Okay, so I have a fun project and a really inexpensive project to share with you guys today. Yep, I've got Instagram going and Facebook going. So I want to show you guys a few things real quick. First of all, I picked this sign up at DollarTree, and this is how it comes. It's just like this. And then I went ahead and I painted the stick part of it. Let me show you the difference. I mean, the stick was brown, but now it has more detail on it than how it came originally. This is the one with the detail. Okay, so that was the first change I did to it. And the next change is I'm going to change what wording I have on here. So I sanded this down right here. I sanded the glitter off of it, and now it's going to say welcome to our pumpkin patch on each one of these. Hi Goldie, thanks for joining us. You've been on my mind. I need to reach out to you about Pinners Conference, and so you'll be hearing from me shortly. Okay, so once we do get all of that done, then this came from the Dollar Tree also, and it's a metal pumpkin, and I think it's super cute, and I thought it would be really cute to attach that to this sign and just put it up at the top since it's welcome to our pumpkin patch. And I'm going to paint the sign. It's metal and it has really cool detail on it, and I'm going to paint it and use the patina paints on it. And so I think it'll be really a fun project. And this was $1. This was $1. And hopefully you've got some of these paints already in your paint supply. And both of those things came from the Dollar Tree. And then this stencil is up on the website, and it's $8, and it's a adhesive stencil. Okay, another thing I wanted to share with you real quick. I'll get this done and then probably next week, but this is a really cool, this is one of those signs that has a thing on the bottom that you can stick this down into the ground and hold it up, and it's one of those swinging signs. And I got this at Hobby Lobby. It was on their clearance aisle Hi Lafa, thanks for joining us. And so it's cute all by itself. The sign was originally $24.99, and I think because it was on their clearance aisle, I think I paid about $3 for it. And it's metal, so it's gonna hold up really well outside. So what I'm going to do, hi Chantel, thanks for joining us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slick stick over this. Hi Robin, so nice of you to join us today. I'm going to slick stick over this because it's metal, and then I'm going to repaint it. And when I repaint it, it's going to say Bucher's Dead and Breakfast Inn, established in 2011, and put this out on my front porch for fall. I do some decorating. It's not really typical Halloween. I mean, there's pumpkins and stuff out there, but I'm not into the creepy kind of decorating. Skulls and witches and those kind of things. I like to just keep it fun. And so I thought this Bucher's Dead and Breakfast Inn was kind of cute. And so that's what I'm going to do with that sign. And I just wanted to share it with you guys because when you're in Hobby Lobby, you need to go, and Michael's too, you need to go down those clearance aisles because they mark things down. Like I picked up a bunch of stuff at Michael's a month ago for 70% off. And if you just think outside the box, you can come up with some really great things to change what they're doing. So I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way and get going on this project. Okay, so the colors that I want to paint this are these colors. So I think that painting, hi Donna, I think painting the signs, I'll use the 3 signs I'm going to do in these 3 colors. And then the wording I'm going to do in drop cloth. And I know you guys see me use drop cloth a lot, but it's just one of those paints you need to have in your paint box. And the colors are, this is terracotta. This is a color that Dixie Belle still carries, but it's on one of their like discontinued colors, has been for a few years. You can order it, but it only comes in 16 ounce. But I love terracotta, and it's a color I use all year long. And then this is Colonel Mustard, which is a really beautiful color all by itself. And then you guys know that Palmetto Green is my favorite. I've done a lot of, well, hello, brother. I've done a lot of projects, a lot of furniture projects using Palmetto. So that's the color palette. And doesn't that look just like fall? In fact, on these spoons, it kind of looks like turkey feathers. Kind of cool. And I, just for you guys, it's crazy for me on my end, but I did reverse everything so that you can see that the letters are what they actually say they are. So you can thank me later.
Thank you now.
Okay, so I'm going to put this camera down, and Instagram is already down where they need to be, so bear with me for just a minute. Okay, so I think we've got our 3 colors here. So I think I will do the gold, the Colonel Mustard on the top. So we'll start there. And this is Dixie Belle chalk paint, and it's Colonel Mustard. It's a really pretty color, and one of these days I'm going to paint a whole piece of furniture in it. I've seen it done this color and then kind of black accents with it, and it's really stunning. And it was a piece that AJ did several years ago, but I've never stopped thinking about it. It's so pretty. Ooh, this jar of paint's kind of a mess. Okay, and you know that anytime you're using the chalk paint, you need to start with a damp brush. And I've got my brush. This is a Dixie Belle small flat. And I'm just going to paint over what was already here.
God, that covers well.
Yeah. Chalk paint really does give you good coverage. And it's so easy to work with. It's highly pigmented. You need to clean your pieces really well, but you don't typically have to sand unless a piece is in bad condition. But typically you can just start painting right over the top of it like what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. And we'll get to the next color, which I think will be the green. We'll save the pumpkin for last. Let me grab another brush here. You could use a chip brush to do this also, you guys. I used a chip brush to do the staining on the stem, and the colors I used are colors I always use when I want a wood look. The first coat is coffee bean. The second coat is with a chip brush, just streaking it on. The second coat is chocolate. And the third coat is pine cone. And you always get a really nice woody stained look with that combination. So I'm using Palmetto, which is honestly one of my most favorite colors. I'm liking this transformation already. And remember that if you want to do this same stencil, it's up on the website. Also, you guys, if you're interested in doing the Dead and Breakfast one, obviously that stencil is up on my website too, but obviously you don't want my name on it. So if you want your name on it, just send me a private message and I will put your name and your established date on it and make it whatever size fits whatever your project is. Up to 11.5 by 11.5. So you can customize that one. I'm grabbing another brush. And then pumpkin's gonna be our bottom color. This jar is almost empty. Let me see if there's enough in it. This is pumpkin, and like I said, it only comes in 16 ounce now. But at least it's still available. I'd be super sad if it was discontinued. So are you guys working on fall projects now? Are you guys getting in the mood? Well, hi, Shannon. Nice to see you on here. You guys, if any of you guys are stampers, Shannon is moving and she has a huge collection of, I think it's Stampin' Up! Stamps that she is wanting to sell. Okay, this one is almost empty and dried up. Going in the trash. So hopefully this, yeah, this one's liquidy. So if you guys are looking for any stamps and a huge collection of it, let me know and I'll put you in touch with Shannon. I've got a bit of a skin on here I'm peeling off. So I didn't see anybody comment on if you guys are working on fall projects. I live in Arizona and the temperatures are still 100 degrees, but we did get rain, a bit of rain this afternoon, and it looks like we've got a whole lot of rain coming from that hurricane that came up the coast of Mexico.
Well, there you go.
Are you liking the terracotta? I almost said pumpkin.
I like it.
Me too. Now, don't you guys think this is fun to take something for $1 and completely change the look of it and make it yours? I mean, you could have this stencil saying anything you wanted. If you've got something else you would like your sign to say, other than what I did, that's okay. Just let me know. I do custom.
Sharon says she's working on Christmas gifts for my family.
Who is? Sherry?
Yeah.
Well, good for you. You know what? When my kids were growing up, first of all, I taught ceramics for many, 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 many years. So every single year, whether people wanted it or not, they got something made from ceramics from me. But I used to make all my gifts, almost all of my gifts, now I hardly ever have time to do anything for myself, but quite a few of the furniture pieces I've done in the last few months are for myself. And a lot of them are for Pinner's Conference. So if you guys haven't gotten your tickets yet, be sure that you do. I'm gonna step around here and see, are you guys getting this whole sign?
Yeah, I think the yellow needs another coat.
Yeah, all three of them need a coat because I can still see the coloring going through. Okay. So I'm going to give this a quick dry. Hi Jan, thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'm gonna do it again. Give another quick coat. My Colonel mustard needs to have some water added to it. I haven't had it open in a long time. It needs some thinning down. If you haven't used Dixie Belle paint before, there's no VOCs. It's all water-based. It's highly pigmented, and a little bit goes a long, long ways. It's the best dang paint, and that's the truth. I'm not lying. I've been selling it now for almost 3 years, and I still feel exactly the same way. I thought it was amazing the first time I used it, and I called Dixie Belle up the next week and said, what do I need to do to sell your paint? And I really just didn't think that whole thing through. And the next thing I knew, I had a whole retailer set up and was selling Dixie Belle paint. And here we all are together now. Okay, so this is the second coat on the Kernel Yellow, and this is Palmetto. Look how well that's covered. And we're going to do another coat of Pumpkin. Now see, you can see through here. Make sure our Instagram people can see. And just putting a second coat on here completely camouflages the lettering that was there. So you can imagine what it will do on your furniture. Dixie Belle is great for crafting, but it's even better for furniture. So you guys, I did say that I'm Deborah Bucher with Deborah Bucher Designs, and I have a shop at the Brass Armadillo in Phoenix off of I-17 and Cactus. And you can shop there Monday through Sunday or Sunday through Sunday. And they're open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I'm an elite retailer for Dixie Belle, and that means I carry the full entire line of Dixie Belle, and including the silk paint. And you can shop from me if you're out of state. All of these products are available on my website and on Facebook. That's up above. I have the shop address and my website address. It's DeborahBucherDesigns.com. And while that's, I'm just going to let that sit and dry for just a minute, and I wanted to remind you guys of a class that I have coming up, and that's to do this really awesome galvanized Christmas tree. And the class is September 18th, and the class fee is $19. And then the patina kit that you need to order, if you don't already have the patina paints, is $19, and that includes 2 ounces of the bronze, 2 ounces of the copper, 2 ounces of sea spray, and 2 ounces of the green patina spray and the blue patina spray. And this tree, I can hardly wait to do it, is going to be awesome. And where you find this tree is you just Google galvanized Christmas tree and it will come up. It's made by Glitz Home, but you'll recognize this tree. The one I have is 18 inches and there's another one that's 14 inches. And I should have, because I've ordered several of these, I should have ordered some of the 14-inch and then I'd have an entire forest. But I love this tree, and that class is going to be really fun, and it's a private class on live on Facebook. And if you aren't available to be in the live class on September 18th, which is a Saturday, that's okay, because once you've paid for your class, you have that available to you online forever and ever, or until I die. So, and maybe I can just tell my daughter not to take it down, and then you would have it forever and ever. So that's coming up, and you just need to go to www.deborahbucherdesigns.com and register for that class, and it's going to be really, really fun. And if you've never done patina, it's something that you're going to want to learn, because I said at the very beginning, in case you guys missed it, that I'm going to patina this pumpkin, and I'm going to take this raffia off and put something prettier on it. And this pumpkin is going to go and patina. If you've never done it, it's a really fun chemical process. It's kind of like magic. It's like a chemistry class. It's just awesome, and it works best if you do it on metal. I mean, you can do it on furniture, you can do it on wood, but it really has a nice chemical reaction on metal. And I'm going to attach this pumpkin to the top of this sign, and I think it'll be really cute. And there's so much detail on that pumpkin, I think it'll be really cute when it's all done. And since my sign is for a pumpkin patch, I think it's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to give it one more quick dry. I said hello to Jan. So you guys, I know my schedule has been really wacky, and it's been hard to keep up with me. And those of you that have, I appreciate it so much. I just have to do things between my brother's appointments at the Mayo Clinic. So I always do, when I'm going to do a live, I always create an event on Facebook and let you know what the project is and what we're going to be doing. And I appreciate you guys just hanging in there with me. I'm going to put these brushes over here in my dish of water. Dixie Belle also just came out with a really nice project to clean your brushes. I always use the scrubby soap, which is amazing, and I love it. And it's made with essential oil and comes in 3 different fragrances, the orange, lemon, and lime. And I take really good care of my brushes, and a lot of my brushes are 3 years old now, and they're just as good as new. But if you forget your brush and you've got dried up paint or slick stick or gator hide or anything that's difficult to get out of it, they have a new cleaner called Clean as a Whistle. And I have it in the shop, and I have it available online. So if you've got some brushes you need to recondition, that's what I recommend. So this is what it's going to say. And I left a little space over here at the end of this welcome because I would like to be able to fit this sunflower and this leaf down here. I don't know if I can get the leaf on, but we'll see. Okay, so that's how this is going to go. I'm looking over here. Hi, Laura Jean. Thanks for watching. And, oh, Firechild Glass. Hi there. So nice to see you. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to start off at the top. This is nice and dry. Now, if you haven't ever used, this is an adhesive stencil. It's not reusable. It's a one-time stencil. The reason why I like using these is because you get very little leakage when you're stenciling on here. And I really like that. So it has a transfer sheet on the top, and the back of it is like contact paper. So what you want to do is peel off the back and do it carefully, because sometimes the middle of letters, like the inside of an E or something, especially if they're small, will stick to your contact paper. And when I sell these, I also include instructions to tell you how to do this, but you can always come back and watch the video again. And now I have a sticky side here, and I have the transfer side here, which is, you know, not sticky. And so that allows me to put it down and position it where I want it. And like I said, I want to move it as far over here as I can because I'd like to work in that sunflower. So I'm going to put it down right there. And then you just take your fingers and just rub it on. Good idea. I'm getting advice from my brother over here. We've been collaborating. He's been making me all kinds of really cool wood projects. And you guys, if you haven't bought your tickets to Pinner's conference, be sure you do. In fact, today, Dixie Belle called and asked if they could add a 4th class on for me. Because I was teaching 3 classes, and now they've just added on a 4th class. I just told them, yes, I would be happy to do it. I'll just have to get back with them and let them know what kind of a project I decide I'm going to do. And the Dixie Belle classes at Pinner's are free, and I think we are the only ones that have free classes. And they are filling up quickly, so if you haven't signed up yet, you need to get online and get signed up. Because last year was a COVID year and my classes were all full. So I'm expecting that they will all be full this year. Okay, so I'm peeling back the transfer paper here, and if you just watch, I'm just rolling it off, and you can pull it off at a 45-degree angle. But you want to be sure that all your pieces stay down on it. So like there's the center of the E needs to stay down. And if it lifted up on my transfer paper, then you just lay your paper back down and burnish your piece back down. And just take your time taking it off just to make sure that all your little pieces stay on there where they're supposed to be. Not that this black is going to stay on here because I'm going to peel all this off, but I just was mentioning earlier that with this kernel mustard and black together is a really pretty combination, and this just proves my point. This is so, the black and the kernel mustard is a really pretty combination. I just need to find a piece of furniture to do it on. I can go shopping in my garage. There's plenty of furniture in there just waiting to get painted. My car used to fit in there a year ago.
Now you have a Suburban, you get more.
Yeah, my brother just got a car yesterday. Yeah, he got a Suburban, so we can haul around a whole lot more furniture now. Emphasis on the we. Okay, so I'm just making sure that everything is burnished down and making good contact. That's why you will love using adhesive stencils. Okay, and I'm going to paint the letters in drop cloth, which is this spoon, you guys. And I use this color a lot too, like on the boxes that had the verses in them. I don't see one. Oh, here's one. So there's a whole sheet of Bible verses, and this is this color box. And then I use the same technique on this box that I did on the stake of this sign. And then this is drop cloth, and you can see what a pretty contrast that makes. I sold a lot of those boxes and verses. If you bought one, thank you so much. You guys are being super quiet.
Oh, no.
Thank you. When you're super quiet like this, it makes me feel like I'm just talking to myself. I'm just grabbing a artist brush. Okay, and I'm just gonna dip it in a little water and wet my brush. And then I'm wiping it back out because I really don't want a wet brush. And just take a little bit of paint. You don't need a whole lot on your brush. And just paint it on. And less is more. So if you don't get a good enough coverage the first time, let it dry and go back. A few weeks ago, I think it was just maybe last week when I did the Deck the Halls box. That was a really weathered wood grain, and to prevent it from seeping, I coated it first with satin top coat, and you could use any top coat that you have in your paint box, and let that dry. And then I went back and put my paint color on, and there was zero seepage. And before we go, I'll show you guys that box. It sure is pretty. Sherry, you know, normally when I'm stenciling, I start with a dry brush, and I just did it tonight automatically, and really you don't want to do that. You want to start with a dry brush. So I pinched out all the moisture in it, and wiped it on my paper towel before I started. But I'm glad you caught that, because when you're stenciling, you don't want a wet brush. You do want to have a dry brush, and that just helps ensure that you won't have any leakage. So good catch, Sherry. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a second. And then the next one is 2 hour. And then I put these cute little, I don't know what you call them. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to peel off the contact paper on the back. And like I said, just do it carefully so that you aren't pulling up any of the pieces that are in the middle of your design. And see, with that transfer paper on there, you can still see where your lettering is so that you can apply it exactly where you want it to be. And this one, I want to make it in the middle, as evenly in the middle as I can make it. So then you just lay it down and rub it on. Now, if any of you tuned in late and you wondered where this sign came from, this was at DollarTree for, of course, $1. And we repainted over it. And then I came up with some, I can't even remember what the old sign said. We changed the colors on it to make it look more fall and to make it prettier so it doesn't look like it was made in China. It was made right here in Arizona with lots of love. And this will go, I have several of them. Some will end up in my shop, and one will end up out on my front porch. I have a really cute front porch. That's the whole reason I bought this house, was because of that front porch. I'm having trouble getting a corner to start. Let me try one of these corners. There, I think I got it. Okay, so once you get a corner to start, then at a 45-degree angle, carefully peel back the transfer paper, just leaving the vinyl, which has the adhesive on it. And the 45-degree angle is so that, you know, like the circle in the middle of the O, so that stays down and doesn't come up on your transfer. And if it does, because like when your letters are smaller, sometimes they will lift up. And so if that happens, you just lay this back down and rub it back off again. And if you guys have been watching me for any length of time, you know I love using these stencils. If you stand still too long, I might just stencil you. I love to decoupage, and I love using these stencils. To me, decoupage and stencils make things so uniquely you and aren't mainstream, not something that everybody has. Okay, so again, I'm going to use drop cloth on here, and I'm not wetting my brush first. I've just dipped into my paint. I'm gonna sit down for a minute, you guys. And I'm just using an artist brush, nothing fancy. You can pick up artist brush at Michael's, and you can still use your, well, they don't have a 40% off coupon anymore, but often they have like a 20%. If things aren't on sale, you get a 20% off of your whole order coupon. And I have a nice set of these artist brushes that came in a case so I can keep them all nice. And it was $19, and I'm pretty sure I got my discount on them. And then the packets that I buy for classes are just $5. So Michael's is a good place to pick up artist brushes and not break the bank. And like I said before, just a reminder, if you're working on wood that has a deep grain in it, and you might have leakage going underneath your stencil, just go over it the first time before you start putting down your color with a top coat, with a flat top coat, with a satin, with a high gloss, with gator hide, whatever top coat you have in your paint box. And that will seal it and keep your paint from going underneath. That's the tip for the day. And if you guys tuned in late, I painted the stake on here with coffee bean, chocolate, and pine cone. I put down the coffee bean, then with a chip brush, I go back with a chip brush and just kind of dry brush over it to give it texture with the next color, and then dry it, and then do the same thing with the pine cone, just to give it some wood grain and texture. And I love that combination. You can do that on a top piece of furniture too. It's really pretty. And you can do that using the wood grain tool, and then it looks like real wood, even when it might not be.
My painting normally turns out like what you have before you pull the thing off.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, it is. I didn't get any of your skills.
That's not true. Boy, you guys are quiet. Nobody has any questions or comments?
Or hearts? Or,
Yeah, give me some hearts, you guys. I'm working hard. Okay, so both of those have one coat on it. And we're gonna put the last one on here. And I'm gonna do a little extra trimming up. It's nice because you have these grid lines on the back side, and if you hold it up to the light, then you can see where your design is, so that you aren't cutting into them, and the grid lines just help you cut straight, hopefully, unless you're drinking a glass of wine while you're painting.
It is happy hour.
Yes, it is happy hour with Deborah Bucher Designs. I hope everybody's happy. I went up to my daughter's cabin in Heber Overgaard this last weekend, and it was just so relaxing and beautiful. The weather was in the 70s, and off and on we had rainstorms with thunder. It was just really great. And I know a lot of my customers live up in that area, and you guys are really living in God's country up there. Okay, I'm going to peel off the back here. Before I lay it down, I'm going to see if I can get that corner to lift so I don't have such a hard time. Okay, did it. So like I said, gently peel off your contact paper. And then the black side of it is the sticky side. And then just center it on your piece. One of the things that I designed these stencils and the lettering on them. And one of the things I'm just really pleased with myself is I really like all the different fonts that are on here. It just makes it a bit more whimsical, and like this was just all put together from scraps in the scrap pile. Okay, so I had already started my corner here, and I'm taking off the transfer paper at a 45-degree angle, being careful not to pull up any of the pieces that are in the center of the letters.
Sherry just commented she's making metal trays.
She said what?
Metal trays using the decoupage paper.
Oh, nice. Oh, paper you got for me. Good for you, Sherry. It's what I used on the coffee table. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite. Honest to goodness. That's Grunge Meters is the one that's on the coffee table. Well, Sherry, when you're done with that, please, 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 I mean this for all of you, when you're finished with your projects, there's a place on my Facebook page that you can post a picture of them and share them with everybody. And that's so inspiring for all of us to see what other people are doing. And it also, besides being inspiring, it gives people confidence and encourages them to do things like that on their own, where they might think something is too complicated, but it's really encouraging to all of us to do that. So Sherry, when you're done, please share. Okay, so I'm ready to put some more paint on this last letter, and then we're going to go up and put a quick second coat on everything else. And the second coat will go real fast. We just want to make sure we got it all. Really nice gifts. And did you guys know that when you see all those pretty silver trays at the Goodwill or Salvation Army has a lot usually, and it's crazy. They are silver plated, but they're still silver. And you can pick them up for just a few dollars a piece, depending on the size of them. And I always pick them up because they make just a great background for art pieces. You can put transfers on them, you can paint designs on them, you can decoupage on them. And I have a saying, my own personal saying is, I need to make a sign for this, but my saying is, if you love it, put it on a silver tray. Because anything looks beautiful on a silver tray. So if you just take a plain old terracotta pot with a plant in it and set it on a silver tray, you'd be shocked at how fancy that terracotta pot all of a sudden looks. It just changes the look of everything. I have on my Pinterest, I have a whole board on silver trays. They make a neat collage on the walls. Those chafing dishes that had the Pyrex in the middle, and then the Pyrex gets broken and they end up in yard sales all the time. You take those silver trays and hang them on the wall and they make a really cool shelf. Speaking of Pinterest, you guys, I'm on Pinterest, and I would love it if you would go like my Pinterest page. And I'm also, I've started my YouTube channel, and it's really sometimes hard to get videos up there, but I've gotten 2 new ones up there this week, and I'm just challenging myself to try to get 2 or 3 a week up. So if you go subscribe to my YouTube channel, I just appreciate it, even if you can't watch all the time, because I know there's so many of us out there doing lives, and you know, people do have jobs and kids and a life of their own and can't sit around and watch these all the time. But when you do, and when you comment or you like something, it changes my algorithms, and then Facebook brings more customers to my page organically, and then that really helps me out a lot.
So you're very busy taking care of your brother with stage 4 cancer.
Yeah, I am. But we're really lucky. He's supposed to start chemo and immunotherapy this week. Okay, so I'm going to give this a quick dry, and then I'm going to go put a second coat on, and then we're going to do the big reveal. You guys, do any of you think you're going to head over to the DollarTree and see if you can get one of these signs for yourself? If you've got kids or grandkids, this would be a really easy, fun project to do. If you don't have a front porch to put them on, you can stick these signs in the yard. Just top coat them with gator hide, and they'll be water resistant. If you have a pumpkin sitting on your front porch or a planter, the stick would be really cute stuck in that. Hey, Wendy. Wendy is a Dixie Belle chick up in Idaho, and She is my friend and advisor for all things Pinners Conference. She helped me out last year and we're helping each other this year. Thanks for tuning in, Wendy.
We are a great team.
We are, Wendy. You're the best. I told them to get signed up because the classes are filling up fast, and that Dixie Belle just added a 4th class to my schedule today. You guys, I had 23 boxes from Dixie Belle, and it took me all day yesterday to open, count, inventory, and list what I had and what I still needed. I was exhausted. So my puppy dog over here is wanting me to pick him up because he hears me talking to you guys, and anytime he hears me talking, he thinks I'm on the phone. And if I'm on the phone, he thinks he needs to be in my lap. Yep, get signed up, you guys. We're gonna have fun. All right, we're almost at the end here. Wendy, this was just a stake that I picked up at the DollarTree, and we've repainted the whole thing and re-stenciled it, and then they had a really cool metal pumpkin that I'm going to add to the top of it and do patina on. It's going to be really cute. And it started off at the DollarTree, and it's going to look like $1,000,000, or at least 20. Okay, gonna run the dryer over it. Okay, I personally like to take these stencils off while the paint, it's dry to the touch. It's not coming up, but it's not thoroughly dry. Yeah, and I like to just take the stencils off at that stage rather than letting it completely dry. And you can see as I'm removing these why they are not reusable. But you can also see that I have really crisp lines and no leakage. And I'm pretty sure I have my picker on the table. I have everything else on the table. Well, I know there's one on the table, but I'll just use my X-Acto knife. So the pieces that get left inside the letters, there is a thing called, oh, here's the picker. I knew it was here. So you just use you just catch a point on it and then lift it up. You can use a toothpick to do this. You could use your X-Acto knife. Okay, and then I'm going to put the sunflower on here and add this leaf that I made out of one of my sunflower molds and painted it. So when we get the rest of this off, we'll go back and do that, and then this project will be done. This week I'll get the pumpkin patinaed. Pretty, pretty. These lines are crisp and sharp. No leakage. What'd you say?
Said that's Dixie bottle paint for you.
Yep. All these products are available in the brass armadillo or on my website, whatever is most convenient for you. And I ship priority mail. Most days I get it out the same day or the next day. I make my coffee in the morning, feed my dog, and go start shipping. That's my routine. And like I said, these stencils, just like this one, are available on the website, but if you would like something different, as long as you send me what you want and the dimensions, I'd be happy to do what you want. Like if you had grandkids' names and you wanted them on one of these signs, that would be fun.
I really like that font.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The narrow A.
This A right here?
Yeah, it's got the narrow on one side and kind of fat on the other.
Yeah, I like how the T's are. I mean, I just really like this font. I thought it was really pretty when I found it.
Yeah, it is.
I'll use it again. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to put this transfer on. Make sure you guys are all still in the camera. Yep. Okay. So I want to be able, I can't get the whole sunflower on, so I'm going to move it off to the edge. That was a brilliant suggestion from my brother. And I want to be able to work this leaf in, but I don't want to cover up that E. So I kind of have to
Put it above.
oh, right there works. And I'm going to need some wood glue. That was my brother's clue to go get the wood glue off of the workbench. Okay, again, you guys, I'm trying to get the, there it goes. Okay, so if you haven't used a transfer, it has a backing on it, and I've just peeled the backing off, and the back side of the transfer is sticky. And so I need to put this back down like how I wanted that to work with the leaf on there. And now I'm going to just press it down. Kind of like we did on the stencils. You want to, all your transfers come with one of these sticks in them, and you just use that to literally transfer. The paint on these transfers is real paint, and what you're doing is transferring the paint onto your project. Thank you. And I have a really pretty dresser that this is the Dixie Belle sunflower transfer, and I did a dresser that has a burlap finish on it with the same exact transfer. And since I took it over the edge, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut that edge off. You could use an X-Acto knife. I just learned the other day, you guys, I've heard people use the expression fussy cut. So I know what fussy cut is. It's when you got a cut that's really fussy. But I just learned the other day that there's actually scissors that are specifically made for fussy cuts. I did not know that. I think I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. Yeah, and I like it offset like you suggested too. I think that was pretty brilliant.
Really actually good.
Well, now my blade came out of my X-Acto knife. Just happened to have another one. So I just want to be sure all of my design has transferred onto this board. And so again, you start with a corner and start lifting that plastic up. And making sure that your paint is staying down. So like when that popped up, so did the design. And so if that happens to you, you just lay it back down and just continue to rub over it. See how, I'm gonna lift this up so you guys can see. See how the design is transferring over here? And so my Instagram peeps can see. And so, especially because I fussy cut this, like if I hadn't done that, this would come off easier. And so if you see it lift anything up, you just lay that plastic back down and use your stick and just rub it back down. Then use your fingers and burnish over all the edges. And anytime I'm putting on a transfer, I use a piece of a finishing pad. I just cut off a square and just burnish that. And that pushes that design down into the grain of your project. It really makes it adhere well. I think that's super pretty. Okay, now let's see if we can get that leaf on really fast. Whoops, I pulled the whole cap off. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I just did. Okay, so this is Titebond wood glue, you guys, and I use it for everything. I don't use any other kind of glue because Titebond will do everything you need glue to do. And I'm just buttering up the back of it. And see if I can reposition it like I had it on here. And it dries clear. So that adds a little 3D, and if you have other molds, there might be designs on your other molds that you would like to add to this. So there we go, you guys. I'm going to get the original one in case you missed it, so you can see where we started and where we ended up. So here's the original, and I sanded off the glitter that says Friends, and I repainted the stake to give it a more...
Can't see the original.
Well, I want you guys to see the stake so that you can see it has a really woody design to it. And here is the original. And can my Instagram friends see? Okay, so there's the original. And here's the new one. And you can see that really cool sunflower. And the pretty fonts that are on the new one. And that there's no texture on the stake, but we've got really pretty wood texture on this stake. And that was $1. And I'm going to finish, I'm going to patina. If you guys haven't ever used patina before, that's a really fun thing. And I've got that patina class coming up on the tree. And you can order a patina kit. Even if you don't want to do the tree, you can just order a patina kit. Okay, so when I patina this pumpkin, it will be really cute. And just stick the stake down in the ground or in a flower pot. It'll be super cute.
Can't see it.
Yeah, it's coming in.
Oh, there it is.
Got to be patient, you guys. There's a lag of when I put it there and when it shows up. And then can you guys see that sunflower? And the leaf on it?
Mm-hmm.
How cool that is. It's just the details, you guys. We didn't change a whole lot. I mean, I changed the words, I changed the colors, changed the fonts, but all of it just makes it pop. And we started with a DollarTree, and if you've got these colors already in your paint box, if you don't, then just add to them, because these are colors I use all the time, and especially for fall. So let me bring the camera up, you guys. I just got a notification that drizzle is starting in my neighborhood soon. Okay, let me get my Instagram people. It's tricky, you guys, trying to do Instagram and Facebook at the same time. So I don't know. Hopefully I've got Instagram in focus. So you guys, I appreciate you so much for, hi Robin. Jan, thanks so much for loving my sunflower. It's just those little tiny touches that just change things completely. And when I found these at the dollar store, I think it was just a week ago, I thought, oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna do with these, and I was really excited to do them. You could put some flowers on them. I mean, there's just all kinds. It's only up to your imagination. And if you guys do one of these, please post it on my Facebook page and share it with all of us. I'm really kind of like having fun doing some fall projects. I was gonna show you guys real quick. If you missed it last week, I did this box, Deck the Hall, and it's a box that my brother made. I do have a couple of them that are available for sale. And then I just did Deck the Hall the same way we did today, and then just laid some greenery that I picked up at Hobby Lobby at 40% off and stuck a LED candle in there. That was super easy, super fast, and that was last week's video if you missed it. And I promise I'll get back to furniture. I just need to clean out 1 or 2 pieces in here so I have room to do more furniture. So you guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. And hopefully I'll see you another day this week. It just depends on the schedule with Mayo and getting my brother started with his chemo treatment. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.